Okay, so I want to get into some of the techniques and tools that we have for what I would call like time-saving text change and insertion tools, I guess, right? And what we're looking at here, number one, let's just start out, first of all, throughout our document here that we have, this 3-page that we have, we're constantly referring to the word video, and it turns out that we have the word all wrong. We really mean to have the word surfing, okay? So surfing needs to be replacing all the instances of video, all right? So how do we do that? I mean, we could probably go throughout the document, manually and say, okay, here's video over here. I'll double click it, right? And I'll change it to surfing, right? Well, it'll take you a while to do, a little frustrating as well, tedious, right? So the other way of doing it would be to go back into the Home tab, all right? And it doesn't really matter where your cursor is at because it'll go all the way around 360 here. But what you'll do is you'll go over here into the Replace. Now we can go to Find, and Find would find each of your occurrences, but then we'd have to go in there and type in that change. The better way to do it is to go to Replace, just like that. And it says, what do you want to, or what are you looking for? What are you looking to replace, basically, in this first spot here? So we're going to type in the word video, all right? There it goes. Now we're going to replace video with what? Surfing, all right, just like that. This is great when you have maybe put together a letter, report, or whatever it happens to be, referring to, Acme, the Acme Corporation or something like that. And now you want to swap out Acme Corporation with another company instead, right? And it's going to be very embarrassing if you miss one of them, right? And then you send that report off to whoever. It's just going to look really bad. This is really going to help you it'll help you to avoid those embarrassing situations, if anything. So what we can do is, if we want to kindly, walk through this one after the other, we can hit Find Next, all right? And it'll bring us to that next one of video, and then it will allow us to replace it. Now, if you're confident that that you want every video occurrence to be changed to surfing, then you can just hit Replace All. But we're going to do it the slower way, just so you can see what happens with this. So if we click on the Find Next, there's your video, okay? Now what do we want to do? Well, we want to replace it. Now watch, when I hit Replace, see, it turned it into surfing, all right? Now I'm looking at that and I'm saying, I made a mistake already because I don't want it to be a capital S for the most part in a lot of cases, because of the fact that we've got the middle of a sentence kind of thing, right? Unless it's a proper name or something like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get in there, right? I'm going to replace that capital S with just a lowercase s, right? And I'm going to go back and hit Find, or actually I'm going to replace on this one now. So there's surfing, right? And now notice that even though I have it as lowercase, it went in as uppercase because it's the beginning of a sentence, and it automatically changes to capital. That's just part of the system, all right? So now it jumps over the next one. I say, okay, fine, replace, all right? And you can see on there, all right, and then we'll go ahead and hit replace on this one, all right? Now you'll notice what happened here. This one went in as a lowercase s like we wanted. This one went in as an uppercase s because initially that was a capital V in video, right? So it said, oh, that was capital. Oh, okay. I'm gonna leave it like that. So it's kind of a smart little system there. Now when I go and hit replace on this one, it jumps down, and there we go. Let me just kind of roll back up again. You can see how it changed it to what it should be there. So anyway, so now we're there, right? And now I'm gonna hit replace. And that was a capital S for surfing. Of course, this is going to end up being a capital S as well. This is online video, capital V. So when I hit replace, it's going to go with capital S. But on this one, This is a lowercase v, so when I go ahead and hit replace, it stays lowercase. Same thing with that one, and so on and so forth. And it just keeps on going and going here. So I just hit replace, replace, replace. And if I get tired of doing this and I say just do it for me, I'll just go ahead and hit replace all, and they all get done. It tells me 7 changes were made, and that's it. So that's pretty cool. And then I can go back up to the top there with that first one that we kind of messed up and tell it that we want to, where was it here? Oh yeah, over here, where we have the capital S. So I'm just going to go back in there, backspace, and make a lowercase s, and there we go. So that's pretty good with that one. So nice little tool. And I'll do it one more time with you. So let's say the word online we have in there. Doesn't make much sense, online surfing. Let's say we want that to be, JAWS surfing, okay, or just JAWS in this case, right? So what do? We go back to replace, right? And we tell it to look for online, right? And to replace online with, in this case, it's going to be JAWS, and we want to make that a capital J, so JAWS. All right, and then once we've done that, then we can go ahead, and in this case, I can say, you know what, every online is the same, so I'm just going to go and hit, I want to change it, so I'm just going to hit replace all, and it tells me it made 10 replacements. I hit OK, hit close, and on here you're going to see JAWS surfing all over the place, right? There we go, because JAWS is actually a name of a place, so it's going to be a proper capital J in that case. So that works out good. So hopefully that will come in handy for some of the work that you might be doing. And keep in mind too that you can replace one word with many words with many words, or many words with one word. All right, so it doesn't matter what you do, as long as you you specify what you have there in those two areas. You can work this with anything, really. Okay, now another tool we have that's actually, constantly, it's already turned on in your system, is something called the AutoCorrect tool. And you've probably seen it in action, where you might be maybe somewhere and you type it. Let's say I go over here and I want to put the word the in there. Okay, it doesn't make any sense, but just go along with me here. If I wanted to type in the word the there, and I typed in T-E-H, in other words, I kind of juxtapose the letters. Now watch this. I type in T-E-H, hit the space bar, and it changes for me. All right? If let's say for instance, I got the word prove there. I don't know if prove's in there or not, but if I typed in P-R-O, or P-R-V-E, let's say, right? Hit my space bar, oh, it's not going to come up, right? Well, the point is that there's a number of already made auto corrects in there. In other words, it thinks of the most commonly misspelled words out there and phrases, and if you happen to type it in the way that they anticipated you typing it in wrong, it will automatically correct it. So I thought of another one here. The word receive, right? R-E-C. Now usually it's R-E-C what? E-I-V-E, but if you type in I-E, I-E-V-E, right? Hit the space bar, it changed the E-I. See how that did that? That's pretty cool. So that's in there. Now, where are these at? I mean, where are all of these words that they've got misspelled and where they'll automatically correct into what they should be? Where is this at? Well, what we'll do here is we'll go into the File tab, the backspace here. We'll go down into Options at the very bottom, and we go into Proofing, all right, and then AutoCorrect Options. And you'll see in here, this list. Now look what we have. Remember earlier we were doing like the left, R, right, left parenthesis, R, right parenthesis, and we get the registered trademark, or the TM, left parenthesis, TM, right parenthesis. So you type that in, and it replaces it with that. But here's all these words, like about, A-B-B-O-U-T. A lot of people spell it like that, it corrects it. Or A-B-O-T-U, where you juxtapose a little bit, it changes it for you. it's kind of interesting because you get so reliant on this and not even knowing it, that when you get into a program that doesn't have the autocorrect, you say to yourself, how come I'm making so many spelling errors? I usually don't make this many spelling errors. Well, it's because they were being fixed for you. And this is the same area where it capitalizes the first letter of sentences. So if any of this stuff you don't like it doing, all right, you can turn it off up here. And if there's a word that you just don't like it correcting for whatever reason, I don't know why, but you can click onto it and hit delete, and then that won't be one of them in here. So if you ever were to type in ABOUTIT, then it's not going to give you the correction. It's just going to give you a spelling error. You know, it'll underline it, right? So kind of interesting stuff. Now, the deal with this is that, so you got all these that are already built into the system. How can you make it work even better for you? Well, what you can do is you can take names, okay, or anything, phrases, words, or I'm sorry, phrases, but sentences, paragraphs, whatever, and you can actually select those and then give them a nickname, okay? And the nickname is kind of like you spelling it wrong, right? And when you type in that nickname, it will automatically then replace it with whatever it's representing, okay? So to give you an example, let's say, for instance, for whatever reason, when you ever do letters and things like that, you're always, you know, when you're writing this type of letter here, you're always typing this text in here, okay? So what you want to be able to do is have it so where anytime that you type that in, okay, or actually anytime that you maybe type in whatever the nickname is that you want to give this, whenever you type that in and then either hit your space bar or the enter key, this will go in. It's pretty cool. So let's just try this. So this is a paragraph on surfing provides a powerful way to help make your point and all that stuff. Okay, makes a lot of sense, right? Anyway, so you select the area, right? And then what you do is you go back into File, all right? We go back down into Options, right? And we go back into Proofing, and then AutoCorrect, just like we did before, and there is the text, formatted text, okay? So we want that to go in anytime that we type in what? Well, whatever we have here. Now, you have to be careful with this because whatever name you give it, if later on you decide that you want to type in that name, but have it for just what it is and not have it replace it, you're going to have some trouble, all right? So what I like to do is type in a right slash, okay? And I'll type in, I'll just call it S for surfing, okay? So right slash S, all right? And that looks good. So anytime that I type in a right slash and a lowercase s, this here, okay, will go in there. So I type that in, right? I hit add, okay, and now that one's added to my list there. See, so now I'll hit OK, hit OK. Now I'm going to delete this, all right? So I'm just going to delete that paragraph, all right? I'm going to go to the end here, hit my enter key. Now this is where I want to put in that chunk of text, all right? Now understand, I don't expect that you're going to be able to type in and create 1,000 of these things and remember what you called them, all right? But you could do it if you would give it a good enough right slash name, okay? And it can be multi-worded. You can do a right slash, whatever it is, and then it'll go right in there for you. So in this case, we're going to do a right slash, the letter S, hit the space bar, and look at that. I have that extra space, so I'll just backspace that out there, and there we go. That's pretty cool, all right? I could do the same thing with people's names. Maybe I'm always doing a letter like this where I have this part here all the way down to there, right? So I could take this one, all right, go back into File, all right, go back down to Options, right, go to my Proofing, AutoCorrect, all right, and I'll do maybe a right slash LA for Lurch Adams, right, or Lurch A Adams, right? So I do that, hit Add, all right, And there we go. See? Now, I'll hit OK a few times there. Now, I'm going to delete that. All right? I'm going to pretend like, you know, I haven't, you know, I'm typing this for a new thing here. So I'll get some space there. So now, there I am, right? I want to put in that entire salutation, right? So I'm going to do a /LA, right? Hit the Enter key, and look at that. That's powerful. And then I can just kind of get rid of that extra spacing in there. But what a great little tool there. Here, I'll show you another one with this. On this Ghost Systems, right? This has, you know, the spelling has that special character in there for the registered trademark. So I'm going to make that into one, right? So we're going to go ahead, select it, right? Go back into File, go down to Options, right? Go to our Proofing, AutoCorrect, and there's your Ghost Systems, right? So we'll just type in, let's say, /GS. Now again, why are we doing the / for the name? Because I might, you know, at some future point, want to just type in the initials GS. And I don't want Ghost Systems to come up. So by putting the / in there, that kind of narrows it down. I mean, I got to be pretty specific to say I want to do a /GS and have it only be a /GS. So I do that, all right? So I do that, add it, all right? There it is. I like the fact, too, when I do the /, they all stay together, see, in my list. So if I ever want to come in and see what I've got, there it is, right? Now I go ahead and I hit OK a few times, and I'll just delete this. And now I'm in a different letter or whatever. I do a /GS, spacebar, there it is. I mean, very cool. Now I have another way of doing this, and it's a cousin to this AutoCorrect, and that is something called Quick Parts. And Quick Parts is just a new, kind of a relatively new feature. A little bit more visual, but pretty much does the same thing. So give you an idea how this works. So we go in, and let's say we've typed up this. Let me go find some new text here. Getting tired of all this. All right. So let's say we got this right here. For some reason, this is something that I like to add to a lot of different documents that I do. And again, I can make this into an autocorrect. That's one way. But I'm just showing you the alternative. So what I would do is I would select this area here, right? And then what I'm going to do is click on to Insert, right? And over here in the text area, this guy right here, when you point to it, it says Explore Quick Parts. Now I click onto that, and I tell it that I want to save it to my Quick Parts gallery. Now I click onto that, all right? And I get this. Now, what it does is it allows me to really kind of give some information about what this is. In other words, what do we want to call this? And we can call it something like it's XYZ. I have no idea, but we'll just call it XYZ. We want it to be a quick part, all right, as opposed to anything else we have. But quick part is what we want here, right? The category is general. In other words, you could come up and create groups of these things, all right? For now, we're just going to say we'll leave it in the general category, okay? If you want to have some sort of a description about what this is, you can put that in there as well. That way, you know, 3 months from now, you'll know what each one is. And then once we've done that, we're going to go ahead and hit OK. All right, so now let's just pretend like we've got a whole new document we're working on, and I got done typing this in here, so I'm going to hit my Enter key, and I'm going to say, okay, now this is where I want to put that chunk of text, that XYZ chunk of text, all right? So what do I do? I can go back to this little drop-down arrow here. This is going to be in the Insert tab, right? Go over to here. This is going to be the Explore Quick Parts. I click onto there, and look what we have right there. Right there, it's in the general grouping, and there it is, see? So when you start getting more and more of these, I mean, this list will eventually start scrolling, but you'll have it in different groups, which is very cool, all right? So that's pretty nice. Now, once this starts, so okay, let's put this in first, all right? So we'll go ahead and we'll point to here, click it, voila, it puts it right in there for you, all right? I'll get rid of that extra space in there. Now, what happens is, after a while, that's going to get pretty big, and you're going to have to do a lot of scrolling back and forth to find stuff, all right? Now watch this. let me just go to another area here. I'll go to here. I'll pretend like I'm going to put that same chunk of text here. All right, now I'm going to get it a little bit different way. I click onto there, and then I go into the organizer, see? So I click onto that. This opens up, right? Now, there are a lot of already made quick parts for you. I mean, if you come in here and you're saying, oh, here's one called, I saw a grid here, right? Click onto that, and basically, it's a cover page, all right? And we haven't really done, I think we haven't done the cover page yet, but that's something that's coming up. But the idea is that we got, cover page, we got all these different kinds of quick parts, all right? But eventually what you'll do is you'll kind of scroll down here until you get into the quick parts area here. There's quick parts, and there's the one that we did. So that's it. I click there, there's the text, all right? And I can go in there, I can edit it. I can delete it if I want to get rid of it, or in our case, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and click on insert. So I click on insert, boom, there it is. And looks pretty good, all right? We had a border in there, I guess, from when we had selected the text there, so that's why it came in. Anyway, so pretty cool. So we'll do this one more time. Let's say, for instance, I've got this group here. So I go from here to here, okay? I take that, I want that to be my quick part, okay? So I select that, all right? Go back into my, insert tab here. Go back over here, explore quick parts. And I go ahead and I say I want to save this, all right? We're going to call this one the peeps. We'll call them the peeps. Peeps list, all right? It's going to be a quick part. We're going to keep it in general. Don't worry about the description. We hit OK, and there it is. Now, I go to some area. Let's say I'm going to pretend like I'm on a different document, and I want to put that same table in there. So I'll put some space in there, first of all. Then I'll go back into insert, right? Go to my little drop-down arrow. There's the peeps list, all right? So I just go ahead and click onto that, or I can go into my organizer and find it that way. I'll just do it with the organizer. So I'll click onto there, scroll down until we find our quick parts group there. There it is, and there's our peeps list. I click on it and I say, yep, that's it. I go ahead and insert it, and there we go, all right? And part of the problem, the reason why that border didn't come in on the bottom of this is because we had put the border on the paragraph below it from the original and not on after this part here, so that's why they didn't come in there. But anyway, other than that, it came in just fine. And you can also, it could be a picture. I mean, we could actually click onto a picture like this, right? Go back into the, and also, here, we'll do it here. We'll select that along with the picture, all right? I think we'll get it all there, all right? We'll go back into the quick parts, all right? Save a selection, right? And we'll call it, I'll just call it Dad, all right? Hit OK, all right? And then I'm on a whole different document. I go to here, and then I go ahead back in there later on, and I say, okay, I'm going to go to my thing there. There it is. I'll click on the Dad, and there it is, along with the appropriate text that we have as well. All right. So I think that'll kind of sum up, those features. But I think that's a great set of text to have there, and to be able to kind of bring it in using the quick parts and the AutoCorrect. So good stuff. So I appreciate you watching the video. Hopefully you got something out of it. Take care.